another piece to this puzzle I forgot to tell you guys. When that bitch, you know, publicly scolded me in the dentist, and then, you know, was accusing me on the phone of talking down to me and not letting me get in a word into my defense, and saying this, that, or whatever, and accusing me of doing things that I hadn't done. Okay. Joe doesn't play around. He's like, try to get a restraining order against her. Oh yeah, Joe. I laugh. Like, yeah, that'll go over really well. That'll be really good for my mom's mental health if I try to get a restraining order against one of the people, the government employees appointed as her caregivers. You know what I mean? Joe doesn't play around. I have it in text. Try to get a restraining order. You know damn well I would never be able to get a restraining order. It wouldn't happen. Okay, but just if I even tried, think of it. You know, this was before they fucking sent all the services to her doorstep, but she's left where they do. Well, we didn't do it. I know. I write angry letters, and a measly 4 days later, all the services shows up at my mom's apartment door, but it's a coincidence, right? Angry, justifiable, in my opinion, Joe's opinion, Selena's opinion, you know what I mean? It's like, to me it was a no-brainer. You just entered our lives recently. We had a whole complex, complicated life for years and years and years prior to you entering it. You have no right to sit there and jump to conclusions and assume things that aren't true and appoint yourself as judge, jury, execution over me, etc., etc. You know. Just bad, just overall bad. And this is my mother. You need to call me. I'm not answering the phone. You need to call on my cell phone. She's getting confused. Like, don't answer that fucking phone. It could be telemarketers. It could be church woman. I don't answer that phone. I don't want to talk to anybody. Right to not talk to anybody. I told you once my mom's in the mental hospital, I'm not going to say a word to you about anything, okay? Just suffice to say, I'm not off the mark saying the truth. The way she was behaving at home is absolutely no different than the way she was behaving at home before we went to the hotel, and how she has periodically behaved when, you know, in the past when she didn't end up in the mental hospital. So why talk to me? It'll wind up being a thing where, you know, where it's he said, she said. I don't want that. I don't want to play that game. I don't want to play that game. You can't believe what I wrote in those letters. I was so articulate. I was so, you know, what right do you have to be in my mom's, driving my mom? You're in a position of power and drilling her about things that are confusing to her that she doesn't know why you're asking, etc., etc. And obviously you're doing it to try to get her to say something against me. You want to know why the situation is the way it is. And is it really any of your business? That's what Selena, is it any of your business, really? But you get what I'm saying? It's like, even in the letter I said, I'm 50 years old, I'm not going to play this he said, she said, where this bitch says one thing about me, and I say something about, what I didn't realize is they are such communists, like Joe calls them, that to them, I'm automatically wrong. There's no way that their coworker is wrong, and you know what I mean? I'm mentally ill, doesn't matter what I say. So it's not a he said, she said to them. It's I'm in the wrong, and she can accuse me of whatever she wants, and that's it, and she's always going to be believed over me. It's auntie all over again, okay? But while I was writing the letters, they were very articulate, and I read the whole thing to my mom. And she gave it to her psychiatrist, okay? But again, They're everywhere. She used to at least have separate. Now everybody's the government. She doesn't have a separate therapist and psychiatrist. She does it. They're all the government. And we were tricked because we just had no idea. I don't think we were intentionally tricked. I think her DMH worker just thought, you know, your mom's living alone. I don't have a car. She doesn't have a car. She needs people to drive her to her appointments. But they don't just do that. They do everything. They take over her fucking life. And all it took was for one to not like me, you understand? Then that became the catalyst. I documented every interaction I had with her. She used every opportunity to be snide with me. And to put me down for not driving and just whatever, you know. Can't stand it if I dare even question what they do or accuse them of anything. And to this day, I will say that one of their new people messed up my mom's meds. And then when I'm on that phone call, she's saying, you know, we take pictures. No, but you know you don't. You're so full of shit. I know what I saw, you fucking cunt. There were extra meds. My mom can't put meds there that aren't supposed to be there. She doesn't have them on hand. You hold them all now. And what I do know for sure is when I handled my mom's meds, they were never wrong because I would check and double check and they just were never wrong. You know? But she's not your family member. Medical mistakes, including messed up medications, take place all the time in our country to an alarming degree. That's why I've repeatedly tried to drill into my mom. I don't care if you trust these people. I don't care where you are or who you trust. You need to know what meds you take, Mom. You need to know and make sure that you're getting given the correct amounts. Especially when they start saving the old meds and instead of just tossing them and starting with the new dosage, if it's half and half, like for example 10 milligrams of Zyprexa and cut down to 5, we're going to just start cutting in half the 10 milligrams of Zyprexa. But to Laura, who doesn't know shit and is not talking to you guys anymore after you went behind our backs and sent elder service to my mom's doorstep because I wrote angry letters that I know are justified, okay? The cut in half benztropine looked identical, oval, to the new 10 milligram Zyprexa. Or whatever it is. They looked identical. So how do I know that that is actually benztropine? I have to try to look at the little cut in half pill and determine a number or letter on it. I look on my computer. It's so annoying. And then I told you about that time there was a new pill in there and I couldn't reach anybody because they had been, even though they shouldn't have been, and wouldn't tell us why, suddenly paying for my mom's meds, getting them local, whereas for months and months and months they were getting them where they get, it didn't make sense, but you're not told anything. It's like the stuff, whatever you want to call it. You can't question them, you can't ask them. They're going to do what they want. To them, my mom is mentally ill, so anything she says, they're not going to answer, especially if they think it's coming from me, because I don't matter, and in their puny little brains, they've formed this whole conclusion that my mom needs protection from me, and she's just trying to hide something, and that's why I'm living here, and she's not, etc., etc., etc. It's all bullshit. I don't fucking care. People are innocent until proven guilty. You can think what you want about me, but I'm still my mom's family member, and you have to respect me if I ask you something, or my mom asks on my behalf, like what's going on with your meds, or why they're suddenly paying for them, or any number of things, or why you haven't seen your psychiatrist in 2 months when you used to see her every month at clockwork without fail. Everything got weird after all the services showed up at my mom's doorstep, and they refused to say, acknowledge who did it or why or anything. And we had to get it from the primary care physician. Thank God he told us the truth, but he has no call, but he knows that her competency was in question, and I have to convince her, but now when she's sick she doesn't want to hear it because they're her friend star. And I need to just let it go. Why are you so upset? You know, that kind of shit that I can't take. But you get what I'm saying? there's no going back from that. There isn't. There is no going back from what they did, what they took it upon themselves to do. No going back. And it's not healthy for my mom to be in the middle like that. Not healthy. Puts me in a bad position even now with her. She's with total strangers. They know nothing. They're going to get blah, 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 blah in their ear from crisis, from whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then, what am I supposed to say? It'll be like, you know, it's not good. It's just not good. You guys have to see that is not good. So do I just not talk to them at all when my mom's begging me to? See, she wants me. And she doesn't believe me when I tell her, you know, they're going to say blah, 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 blah about me, Mom. It's of course they're going to. And it's going to put your doctors who want you to get well now and discharge you in a bad position of not knowing what to believe. Do you guys see that? So since I didn't call the police, and the dynamics are different than they've ever been, and as far as I can see, I told you there were times I was positive my mom would be hospitalized based on her behavior, and the psychiatrist didn't hospitalize her. So this time, why is she hospitalized? She seems better than numerous other times she's been in there, to me. I know what I was told, and then my mom's going to deny it, and what are these nice, I'm not going to call them nice people, but they don't know us. They don't know the situation, and they're going to get blah, 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 blah on one end. For me, if I'm forced to talk to them, what am I supposed to say? That's why I talk about just walking away. It's not healthy for my mom. And I can't deal with her calling these motherfucking assholes her friends. I understand why she does. And she can't understand why I can't just forget it all ever happened. Thankfully, I have her own words on voicemail that back me up. Even if she suddenly forgot everything, I have proof of what she knew at the time. She kept telling me, get a lawyer, get a lawyer, get a lawyer. Okay. But there's only so much time in the day, and I was dealing with all kinds of things, and we spent 3 weeks in the hotel, and prior to that, my mom was acting up again, sick again, I was getting no sleep, but again, she didn't land in the mental hospital, she snapped out of it. Even going to the mall alone, as you know, I already told you about that, she was not sectioned. But this time was different. And again, there's secrecy. It's awful. It's not good for my mom. Because I don't tell them anything, they don't tell me anything, and that's it. Says my mother is the one who's locked up in the mental hospital and got sectioned against her will. And I'm mentally ill. Who do you think the professionals in the mental hospital are going to believe if there's a conflict of what's being said? It's not rocket science. My mom might hope that they'll believe her and believe me and whatnot. In the end, who would you believe, right? That's why I say I'm mentally ill, but I'm really smart, but I'm treated like nothing but shit in this life. And meanwhile, nobody on this planet has advocated to the absolute unbelievable degree that I've been doing for my mom for my entire life. Obviously, my adult life, you know. As a child, I was crying for her. But I understood. I was forced to move in with didn't know what was going to happen, abusive towards me father, not physically abusive. And get my mom calling me. Laura, I'm all better now. You can come home now and be with me. Of course, I wasn't going to do that. As I wrote in my college essay, as bad as it was with my father and his girlfriend, I shuddered at the thought of going back with my mom and you know, and waiting for the day she would get sick again, which did wind up happening, as I put in the essay, okay? But I am so sensitive, and that's heartbreaking to me. Even having her voicemail yesterday, where she didn't think, she knew she was going to be going to the mental hospital, and I wasn't there, and she was going to be leaving, and where are you, and you know, cried her eyes out. And meanwhile, it could have easily happened that I didn't make it there in time. And I would have been crying, and she would have been crying, and nothing could be done, because they told me one time, and the hospital's allowed, mental hospital allowed to change it like that, and have her, you know, and then that's it. She goes earlier, and it doesn't matter that she doesn't have clothes, and doesn't have my card, and I don't get to hug her goodbye. That's how it is. I'm lucky I got 5 minutes I had to beg for, because I could tell the cop didn't want to give me the 5 minutes. And it wasn't 5 minutes to find out what happened. It was 5 minutes just to have her open a card, have her give me permission to take home her belongings, have her, you know what I mean? Things like that. Hug her, just, you know. But when I hear one thing that happened versus her version of what she tells me and Celine or Joe and Churchwoman, well, not Joe, but Joe hasn't talked to her, but you know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't there. I don't know what you want me to say to these strangers, Mom. They're always going to believe professionals over your mentally ill daughter. I mean, you know what I mean? How much you want to bet that was my mom calling on my home phone when I told her to call my cell phone, that I don't want to be chained to the bedroom, that I would answer this phone. Voicemail's conveniently full, which is good. I don't have to worry about hearing from Churchwoman. And if she calls my home phone, as long as I screen the calls, I don't have to listen to her voicemail. And again, it's not because I hate her. I don't hate her, not even remotely. It's because I'm just in agony, and she is not who I want to know. I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to deal with her Pollyanna attitude, or her thinking I have more power than I do. And you know, I had to set her straight. Even in regards to the hospital, I can make requests where I don't want my mom sent to. But when push comes to shove, the insurance will only cover her staying. It has to be the first, it's supposed to be the first open bed, as I was told. As a courtesy to the family, they will look elsewhere. But if they can't find a bed elsewhere, they have to go to the hellholes, okay? And that's it. I'm not even going to tell you where she is. In the end, it's such a joke, and the mental health system is so disgustingly broken. And as you already know, another proof of how broken it is my mom has gone on a merry-go-round of medications, where you get her, the one doctor in this mental hospital puts her on this. Another one, and then she lands again in a different mental hospital, and he switches, or she switches it all around and takes her off this and puts her back on with the other one took her off of, etc., 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 okay? That's when we we are switching around the same meds she's been on in the outside world repeatedly over the years. But then we have the guinea pig, the ones who treat her like a guinea pig and put her on meds she's never been on in her life, you know, just to keep her whatever, like the 100 milligrams or up to 50 in the morning and 50 at the staff's, the night staff's discretion. I.e., if the elderly patient's acting up, shove her full of 50 more milligrams of Thorazine. And we're off the hook if anything happens to her, because it's just a coincidence that she landed in the ER 2 days later. But even in regards to regular, her staples, you know, staples, Palixin, Depakote, Zyprex, you know, those staples or whatever have been rearranged and rearranged over the past, even before I was living here, when I was living in California. This much Zyprex, take her off of that, put her on the Palixin pills, put her on the Palixin shot, take her off the pills, put her on more Depakote, less Depakote, etc., 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 back and forth, merry-go-round. And if that is not proof to you that is the biggest pseudoscience in the universe, and they're just experimenting, they don't know at all what will fix any given person, okay? It's bull fucking shit. And some of the psychiatrists in the nut houses are of the thing of more. That was the one who violated my mom's HIPAA rights and told the elder services that time back in 2015, gave her personal medical stuff they're not supposed to have. But I don't even understand why elder services is allowed to talk to a mental patient who's sectioned against his or her will inside of a mental hospital, and they're allowed to talk to them. And I found that out myself way back when I was living with Bobby and wanted to call them on, have them talk to my mom about my aunt or whatever. And I said, but she's locked up right now. Oh, we can visit people locked up in mental hospitals. You gotta fucking be kidding me. Maybe so long as they're not deemed incompetent. But my mom or anybody doesn't have to be deemed incompetent to still not be in a position where they shouldn't be talking, okay? They shouldn't be elder services should not be allowed to visit mental patients sectioned against their will. That's obscenely sick to me. And it's what happened in 2015 with that hellhole that, again, my mom had her first seizure of her life, a grand mal. I wasn't even told. I still have saved all the voice things. I have a ton of videos. Laura, this is so-and-so from so-and-so calling about your mom. And never told that it was a grand mal. I had to go to her commitment hearing to find that out. At her commitment hearing, she was so drugged up out of her mind that she didn't know her own name, okay? I had to watch her, and she couldn't even, you know, because they don't want them to speak out. They want to just say X, Y, and Z, and that's it, you know? And that is where, I didn't find it out from her social worker, I found it out at that hearing, that it was a grand mal, the worst she can possibly have, happened 2 days after she entered their facility. She'd never had a seizure in her life, but it's a coincidence. It's all a coincidence. These mental hospitals will never be held responsible because you can't prove anything. And that hospital discharged her on obscenely high dosages of every medication, including 100 milligrams of Thorazine, and my mom couldn't even function during the day. But she was dutifully taking it like a good little girl, because that's what sister, auntie said to do. You better comply with your meds, you know. We know that they're breathing down our necks. We gotta comply no matter what. And the daughter, the horrible daughter, the whatever, is the one who said, fuck this shit. She's putting us all in danger, me, her, and all of us, the two dogs, all of us in danger. She can't even stay awake during the day. She's on 100 milligrams of whatever that other one was. I can't remember now. And taking it dutifully. I think that began with the T. It wasn't Thorazine, of course. It was one of those that's as, and you find out after the fact, the bottle says as needed. You don't need in the outside world to be on 100, you know what I mean? You don't need that much. They put you on that to keep you docile. You're in the regular environment. You have to cook yourself and clean yourself. You know what? You can't be on that much meds. Yeah, she was dutifully taking it until, but if I hadn't been here, anything could have happened to her. I was here. to say, fuck this shit. I didn't even get permission. I reduced it down to 25 milligrams and didn't care. Fuck that shit. As in, I cut the pill into 4s. She's on a whole bunch of other shit. She doesn't need to be on this whatever, 100 milligrams a night. But, I mean, I'm just letting you know. Both her doctor and her social worker in that place, I remember I went to the commitment hearing. They looked like twins. I put this in videos already, and I don't care. They both had short hair. They were both morbidly obese, and also so the one they looked like those were twins. The doctor and they were the ones who had control over my mom, and they had her on so much medication inside the hospital, and then she dutifully was taking it on the outside because her little nurse practitioner twit wouldn't ever change anything around. She went by whatever the mental hospital said to have my mom on. That was what you have her on in the outside world. She's the same one who is 99.999% sure my mom is suffering from lithium toxicity based on what I'm telling her, yet insists that I give my mom the lithium, her dosage of lithium that night and the next morning, just in case it's not lithium toxicity. And when I have the wherewithal to say, but you think she's lithium toxic, shouldn't we err on the side of caution and not give her lithium tonight and tomorrow until we get her blood test to see what's going on, so she doesn't go into kidney failure and, like you said, could happen? Oh, well, you know, it could be something else, you know, and insisting, and I, like a good little girl, I listened to her. And come to find out, my mom was severely lithium toxic at the time that this bitch, who would be off the hook, you know, but telling me, and it wouldn't be, and even if she's not, you know, that give your mom that dosage just in case it's not lithium toxic, because God forbid my mom, you know, miss a couple dosages of her lithium. The world's going to come to an end according to the nurse practitioner twit, who also was saying before that that my mom was falling asleep or whatever on whatever she was on because she's drinking too much coffee, or her nosebleeds are caused by something other than the obscene amount of Depakote she's on. You know, come on, people. It's not just inside the mental hospital that's broken. That little twit, I had the wherewithal to say, but you believe my mom's lithium toxic, don't you? And she said, yeah, I do. Well, then shouldn't I not give her lithium tonight and tomorrow morning until I can trick her and get her into getting the blood test so we can see what's going on? And then she outright said to me on the phone, well, you know, it could be something else. You better give her lithium anyway. Lithium that could have sent her over the edge into kidney failure and death and whatever, but that's okay. Like Joe said, these assholes, rather than admit they're wrong or whatever, they would rather see your mom dead than ever admit they're wrong. Okay? So my book doesn't even have to just be about inside the mental hospital, which is, it could be on the outside as well. Not with everybody. The one she'd had before, who was older, this little twit, you know. One time I wanted to talk to her about something, and she didn't bother returning my call, and I'm signed on the release. Little nurse practitioner twit telling me to give my mom lithium when she's 99.9999999% according to her certain my mom is suffering from lithium toxicity based on what I'm telling her. But she still had me give her the dosage that night and that morning, and because I'm like in the twilight zone and don't want to do anything wrong, and I did it. I forced my mom to take this pill. My mom, you know, hated the lithium. She hated it, hated it, hated it. And I should have not given it to her that night and that morning, but I'm put in such a position where, like, I'll be blamed for everything, even now, you know? These assholes handle all her meds, but they can't handle the they can't handle the whatever, the things like Ativan, right? So her Ativan had started like mid-month, whereas other I mean, this is common sense, this is what I'm dealing with, this kind of shit. Had started mid-month rather than, because whatever, they had started a new thing, or when they came, but it doesn't really matter. It started mid-month, but other meds started at the beginning of the month. So what happens? I wonder what happens. Could it be that the Ativan runs out before everything else? And could it be that there are some months that might have 28 or 29 or 30, you know, things like that. So Ativan can pretty much run out any time. So you can be giving my mom her brand new, remember they always take the old one away and just give her a brand new one that's filled elsewhere, okay? Sometimes, or other times they might bring the pill bottles with them. Different things happen, because when the nurse came to the hotel, she had the pill bottles with her, and she didn't have enough to fill them. This has happened more than once, because they handle everything, but they're not always on the ball, you know. I know from handling my mom's meds, you can order them a week in advance. The insurance will approve them a week before they're actually due. That way you're not in a position where you can only fill in half. But this has happened more than once. It just happened recently, okay? And in the hotel, she was running out of stuff and didn't have stuff, but lo and behold, we keep all the bottles. We don't throw any medication away, so even if we're missing the 0.5 benztropine and we're out of that, we can go and get the little 1 milligrams that were cut in half by the other nurse, see? Because we save everything, all right? So if we mess up and don't order our meds in time, we have these backups that when dosages have changed, but we can just cut these in half as an emergency instead of just being on the ball and make it. But anyways, the Ativan, I have to hear my mom crying that there wasn't enough Ativan for the week. It only went up to 5 days instead of 7. And I felt like my mom was like, they're like, where's the Ativan? Like I'm being accused. And that's happened more than once. And I said, the last time it happened, I'm like, you know what? When you start this new Ativan, to protect my own self, I'm going to write down the date and the number of Ativans, because I don't touch my mom's medication, okay? Shit can happen. And with them handling all her meds, what happens, like when she was in her apartment, you know, she's human too. If she drops a med on the floor and it goes under the stove, she just doesn't take it for that day, see? But in the case of the Ativan, I could tell, they're like, where is the rest of the Ativan? Why is this not for the, they said there's not enough for the week, and my mom was feeling like she was being accused of something, and made me feel like they were saying, where's the Ativan? What happened to it? But then when I got to talk to them, even though I don't want to talk to them anymore after they sent all the service to Mom's door, I got to talk to them, because they were here, because she's living here now, right? And actually, the night that I got to talk to them was when the manager, who had never introduced herself, wouldn't talk to me over the phone when I needed to talk to her that time. I 100% knew my mom's meds had been messed up, but they're going to deny it and say my mom did something, okay? Which I knew in my own brain, figuring it out and calculating was impossible, but you can't get a word edgewise with the veg, right? My mom wasn't doing that well, and I knew that. So they popped in unannounced to check on her. In the end, they didn't take her away. They didn't section her. They didn't whatever, okay? But I got to say, you know, while the person's here, and I'm like, you know, I don't touch my mom's Ativan. My mom said, you were saying, oh, where's the other Ativan? But really, it was, she just noticed that there wasn't enough for the week. And again, you can order the Ativan ahead of time too, maybe not a week at a time, but a couple of days if they were on the ball. That wouldn't happen. But instead, my mom has to feel like they're accusing her, and then my mom, I get it secondhand, and I'm like, Mom, you know I don't touch your meds. Why are you even... But they say, where is it, Laura? There wasn't enough for the week. Yeah, there's never going to be enough for the week at the end of the month, because we started with it mid-month. It only goes, you know what I mean? It doesn't run straight from day, as I put in a note before, it doesn't run straight day 1 to day 30 if you start it on the 10, 11, 12, or whatever. But these people are so fucking whatever. They've even said to my mom, they've even gotten confused with, no matter what day you start my mom's meds, you understand? She's going to have to start, like say, if you give her a new pill thing on, say, a Thursday, okay, or whatever, she starts it that Friday, and it winds up running like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like that. That's how it goes, and then it still has to be that morning. But she's taking it that night. You see what I'm saying? So the old pill thing, she'd already taken them for that morning. Now we're going to have it in the morning again, but that's going to be for the following week when 7 days have come by. I can figure that out fine, but she had a nurse here who wasn't the one that filled the pill bottles being like, oh, I don't know what, my mom tells me these things, and I don't want to be involved. I'm hiding in my room, but my mom told me immediately after, Laura, she didn't even use gloves like the one that I like, who wound up showing her true colors, not threadly, did, and she's trying to confuse me, Laura. They're trying, this was after Elvis, they're trying to make me crazy. They're trying to make me wind up in the hospital, okay? And everything she says to me, she said it immediately after the nurse was gone. I knew it was the truth, okay? My mom has no reason to lie about shit like that. Like I said, one hand doesn't know what the other's doing. The one will fill the meds, but she might be busy doing something else, so the other nurse, or even doesn't have to be a nurse, mind you, comes here and expects my mom. So what's this? How about you talk to your fucking coworker instead of making my mom feel like you're trying to drive her crazy? You fucking bitch who also I liked so much in the beginning before you all showed your true colors, because you will always side with that fucking bitch who has been snide and patronizing and condescending to me from the very first moment I talked to her on the phone, and she was pissed because I had inadvertently stopped my mom from winding up in the mental hospital like you all wanted to see happen.